Says yes, you do. Hi.
Hi, Sissy Pants. How you doing with your cute little bangs?
I'm doing good. How are
Now,
you?
now I have to kiss you even more. Look how cute you are. Now
Thanks.
you're 13 instead of 14.
I know. I went, for people that don't know, I'm a substitute teacher, and then I went to a junior high school yesterday, and they asked me if I was in high school. They're like, "Are you in high school?" I'm like, totally, just substitute teacher in high school.
Totally. That's funny. And I look different back here because I'm in California for the big wedding. I'm going to my cousin's wedding tomorrow. I'm going to see my mama. Not have any drama. Or no, that's not tomorrow. Did I say tomorrow? It's today.
It's
It's in a
today.
couple hours. Whew, okay. That's how stressed I am. I don't even know what date it is. I'm not worried about it at all. But anyway, this is my friend Jerry's house, and those paintings behind her, her grandparents painted, and the whole house is filled with them.
It's
She
awesome.
got the bulk of the collection, so it's kind of cool. She lives in a little art gallery.
Oh
All
shit!
right, so who are we talking to? What?
I forgot to open up my window blinds to make it brighter.
No, don't.
No, this is
Because
good?
your window is like behind you and it messes your lighting up. This is
Okay.
better. You always need front lights.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So
Who's here?
today we are, okay, first, a little disclaimer. Well, actually, I'll just introduce him first and then do the disclaimer. I'll explain in a minute. We are going to be interviewing a Sarsahr named Ben. And Ben is with a Starduster named Jason Adkins. You probably know him from Silver Linings, and he does
Woo woo.
other channelings and things like that. He's really great. I love Jason. And the reason why I wanted to interview Ben was because Ben is one of the openly gay Sarsahr that I know of and that I feel comfortable with. And the reason why I was hesitant to do this at first was because a lot of people ask me to interview their Sarsahr partners for the show. And that's just not something I'm interested in. I want people to, Stardust isn't about personal readings. And I don't want to assume that that's what people are expecting, but
Yes, I felt very uncomfortable about this because, I mean, I was on the same page as you about, yeah, let's find out what's up with the gay aliens. But I didn't want people to get their feelings hurt. I was like, that's not fair. He gets his. But this
yeah.
is like a specific, I guess, market. I don't know what word to use. But, we have an opportunity to speak to somebody who knows a specific whatever experience.
Right.
So, yeah, I don't want people to get their feelers hurt. So
Right.
I'm glad that you're saying this.
Yeah, this is a one-time thing. It's Ben. I want to discuss the Sarsahr culture, and this is part of their culture, and I'm familiar with him, and I best channel when I'm familiar with this person and their energy. That's why I chose them, and not another Sarsahr who's gay, and I didn't know. It's just
Right.
easier.
And you know what? Another piece of that is that, I did my Silver Linings episode on sex with Jason. I haven't published it yet. I meant to do it today, but I'm in California, so that's coming soon. But we touched on it a little bit. But, I like to make my show all about me. So I didn't get Ben enough opportunity to speak. So I'm glad to have him over here and have him really represent his peeps.
He's joking,
So.
saying you're not giving much time to speak again. We keep talking.
You've seen the show before. We got to get our girly time out. Hush up, Ben. How are you doing over there, Ben?
Ben, how are you? He says, wonderful. I'm doing very good. He says, I'm excited to be here and talk about, hold on, I want to get it word for word. I'm getting better at hearing, so I may take a lot of pauses because, I usually feel the energy and translate it, but I'm getting a lot better with hearing. Cool. So I'm really excited about discussing, he says, being openly gay in our culture, which isn't a huge deal. It's not a big deal. He said, so it's a bit odd that we're doing this video from my perspective, but he says, I understand that we need to do it from your perspective because it's not as openly accepted in all areas of your life.
We're getting better, but not all the way yet.
Right, so let's get started on some questions. First, he wants to say hi to Jason, and then he loves him. He says, I love you. He has a nickname for him, but I can't get it. I think it...
Oh, my gosh. I want to hear it. Get it.
I don't know. It's like, it sounds similar to something like Pookie Bear or like
Cute.
My Hunky Bear. I think it's more like that.
Well, before we get to questions, I get to make this all about me too. I want to know some stuff about you. I want to know how you and Jason met and connected. And did he just put like the love signal out there and you caught it?
Jason put the love signal out there first.
Okay.
And Ben responded. He said, I was having such a hard time finding someone I enjoyed. He said, because for us, it's about connecting with the soul. Right. So it wasn't that I was gay. It was just that I was looking for a soulmate and I have yet to find one.
Oh, God. That makes me cry.
Did you date other men and women? Or like, was it mostly women? He says, he said, you could say I have a preference for men, but he said, I think it's because deep down in my soul, I knew my soulmate was going to be a man. And that's why I preferred men, because I was looking for him. And he said when I found him, he thought it's almost the equivalent of him thinking, like, fuck it, I'll just go with the human, because this whole Stardust thing happened. And he was saying, all right, maybe my mate isn't a Sarsahr, maybe he's human. And so that's when he met Jason. At first, he thought Jason was very, he found him very attractive. At first, very peculiar looking.
Cute.
Peculiar looking and attractive in the way that he was different than a Sarsahr. He liked that. He was attracted to how different he was. And he said he knew that Jason was attractive for a human, too. And that makes him proud. Because it's kind of like shoving in other people's faces, like, yeah, I'm with a human, but he's a hot human. So.
I'm pretty sure all the Sarsahr can say that.
Yeah. And he's smiling. He says, if not, then they should.
That's funny.
He said, but I'm completely biased here. And he said that he just knew instantly when he met Jason energetically. So this is through astral. He just knew like that. He said, it's just
I love that so much. Love that.
It's an instant connection. And then he felt shy. He said, I didn't know whether or not to push myself onto him, how much I should. And thank you. He's saying you're doing a really good job. I was concerned about being too much, him not hearing me, frightening him. So I went very slowly. And then it turned into I was going too slow because he kept pushing for more. And then I was just shy. I was scared to be rejected by him because I was afraid to open up my heart to him, and then maybe it wouldn't be enough, or it'd be too much, or he would decide he didn't like me anymore. Because from Ben's perspective, humans are very fickle. We can change our minds and fall out of love, and that scared him.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't have been able to deal with that. And he says, but now I know Jason would never, ever leave me. And he said he can, because even if he did, I would still be there.
Oh, I have a theory.
You're stuck with me, he says.
You.
He says, you're stuck with me for life, is what he says.
Right. Well, you know what? I see the bigger picture, and I know we're all connected in a soul family kind of way. So I love that. I love that beautiful part right there. But oh shit, what was I just gonna say about that? Do you guys think that it's it's gonna come back to me? Because that's what happens.
He says, okay, Kari, take your time. Don't strain yourself.
Hang on. I got a hernia. If I strain, I'll bust it out. Hang on.
That made him laugh. What's a hernia? Okay. I don't know, man. It's weird.
Oh, I know. Wait, okay, I know. Don't derail me again. But do you guys think that, I lost it again.
Damn it.
Okay, no, I got it. I think that all of the humans that are connecting with the Sarsahr, now I don't know this for sure. It's just a theory I just made up. I feel like we are almost programmed to not fall out of love with these other people. I think even though our human relationships may ebb and flow, I feel like they're for life. I know you and Sam are for life. I know me and Avery are for life. Do you two think that the Sarsahr and human relationships are for life, even though human to human might not be?
Two different answers, two different places. Ben saying I do. Over here, I have like a...
Who's over there?
I don't know. It's some kind of higher spirit.
Okay.
whatever. It's not like someone incarnated. So they're from a spirit perspective.
Okay. Oh, that's so cool.
These relationships were pre-planned.
Right.
And that, so yes, in a way that is true. And I think it doesn't matter the gender. They're saying that, that's absolutely true for you. Yes, that's true. They're saying that the reason why some people feel so attracted to the Sarsahr is because they're meant to have some kind of relationship, some type of relationship, whether that's romantic, friendship, like, someone that you deem as a mother to you.
Right.
That's where that attraction comes from, because deep in your soul, you knew this was all part of the plan.
I love that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and go with questions now. Sorry, I hogged all that space.
No.
Oh my gosh, I want to know these too. They're my questions and Jason's questions. Did you guys get married?
Yes. And I wanted to, he told me last night when I had asked him, and I wanted to make sure I was seeing him right. Ben has a little longer neck than most Sarsahr do.
Okay.
And I asked Jason, I'm like, is that how you see him? And Jason says, yes. So I got confirmation that, okay, I'm seeing him, so I'm hearing him, right?
Okay.
So yes, they got married. Jason does not remember. And the only reason why he thinks they're not married is because he doubts. And he's afraid to assume.
Okay.
And Ben's like, it's kind of almost similar to what I was before. It felt like I would lose everything if I was wrong,
Okay. Oh. And to give us a couple details about your wedding. Tell me like a special thing or two. And then the honeymoon.
Don't go into that yet. Okay, go back to the wedding. So he's saying that one of the special thing to him was that he got to marry Jason. He said it was no different than a typical Sarsahr wedding. They're all the same.
Okay.
We followed our typical procedures and traditions. Jason wanted to add something a little extra, a little flair. So he wanted to kiss Ben after they... Oh, man, I'm told a poor connection. Hopefully it fixes itself.
I get that all the time. It usually does.
Okay. So he's saying that he wanted to kiss Ben after they're announced man and wife. He wanted the Sarsahr shaman to say, you're now pronounced man and wife. Or man and man. Wife and wife, or... So...
Right.
Anyway, so...
Husband and husband.
Husband and husband, whatever. And something about...
We got it.
The connection's so bad. I
got the poor connection message too. I know you're worried about answering because it can get cut off.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's still recording okay though.
I hope it is. It better be. I'm gonna be pissed.
Ben's
saying we could just redo this. Anyway, but something about, I almost want to say like he wanted to do like Jason's not, I don't know if Jason's Jewish or not, I don't think he is, but like it's a joke, kind of like a muzzle tov thing, break the glass kind of thing. He wanted to add some humanness flair to it.
Right.
But they didn't break the glass. It was like Jason was joking about it at the time. So after they kissed, which he said is not customary, we don't kiss each other. But Ben said, I did it for him. I would do it for him. And, did you guys have sex right away? No. Jason really wanted to. He was really to just jump at it. Ben was a little shy. He said, I was scared I was going to hurt him. So, I don't want to know about sex just with anybody. I always get really shy about it. I don't need to see pictures, honestly. He says I won't show you pictures. I'll respect
you have connected physically then?
We have.
Well, but okay. How many times have you guys met in physical?
This is a few times. I used to come a lot in the beginning, but things are getting a little more difficult now. Why? There's more people coming. He's saying there's more Sarsahr coming. And we have to be prepared for that transition. And a lot of the ships are being used. It's making it hard for us to come visit physically.
Man. And how does that make you feel?
He says he's frustrated. But he knows that he can connect with Jason in another way. It's just that Jason doesn't quite meet him halfway all the time. A lot of the times Jason doesn't hear him, or he doubts he hears him.
Why do you think that is, Heather? Because Jason's a pretty good medium. Is it just because you're hardest on yourself and most doubtful about your own self or something?
Yeah, that, and you're afraid to be wrong, especially about something with this, because...
It's mostly about self-doubt and stuff then.
Yeah, because you could, if you're wrong about this, you could lose everything. I'm afraid to put my whole heart out there, and then to find out it's not real. I don't think I could come back from that. So it's like a defense mechanism for me.
It's so interesting that you and I have such different takes on that. I'm like, die hard, it's 100% real, and I don't even have the experiences you have. It's trippy. That's just the way we're programmed. There's just the lessons and the path we chose to take. Okay, so Ben, that was the second question. I got it already. Oh, I asked Jason this before. He wasn't sure of the answer, so now he's asking. What is your position, Ben?
We discussed this last night. So he was trying to explain to me everything he did, and it was just like a rush of different things. And I didn't quite understand what he was trying to tell me. And I was like, you work with kids? He's like, sometimes. And I'm like, but you do like cleaning service? He's like, sometimes. And I'm like, where are you going? I'm like, are you
of all trades? Yeah.
I'm like, are you a guard or something? He's like, no. I'm like, but you're a type of soldier? Yeah. And so I'm like, what are you trying to tell me? But we just settled on the term floater. He does. Okay. He says he fills positions that need to be filled. When there's someone who there's not enough people for one position and they need an extra hand.
That's cool. I would like that job too. Get a nice variety. You don't get bored.
He said something interesting about that, and it explained his personality, that he can't just stick to one thing. He likes many different things.
He's got ADD.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
That's the Sarsahr equivalent of ADD. He doesn't want to commit to one thing because he likes all things. And I said, you're like a Renaissance man. You're a jack of all trades. You know, you got all of it.
Yeah, that's cool. Okay. And let's see. Acceptance-wise, and I don't know if that means like self-acceptance or peer acceptance, both. How is it being gay for Ben?
He says it's great. He said, I have the man of my life, and he said, I don't know how to, he's like, he doesn't know how to answer that. He's like, how is it like being gay? He's like, would you ask yourself that? How is it like being straight? You know, like.
No, but I believe that there's plenty of gay humans that would not have self-acceptance or external acceptance. Either one, you know, that's the world we live in. So I guess he was trying to get your perspective, and you don't have those issues.
Yeah, he says it's great. I don't have any issues in regards to that.
Okay. I wonder if that kind of attitude coming from him will, I don't know if Jason has issues about his gayness or not, but I wonder if it would like carry on to him somehow, help him, or not Jason in particular, but any of them, if it would like help a human feel better about it if they had problems. I don't know. Something you can't tell in one day, I guess. Mm-hmm. Okay.
How big is this cock?
I missed this the first one I was reviewing. Yeah, how big is your cock?
How big is it?
That's not fair if he gets to learn and I don't. I've been asking for a year.
Well, we could bring Avery in real quick and ask.
Still a contest. Poor Heather.
Ben, it's fine. I mean, I might as well get used to it.
Yes. Do you have a ginormous penis?
Says I do. Compared to a human.
And you know what? Are you like, because Sam's so proper and Avery is so not proper. Which way are you leaning? Are you more
of the... I'm somewhere in between.
Okay.
He said I like to fool around, but only with certain people that I feel comfortable with.
Okay.
Only people I know can handle it. And he said that, he says he's an average size for a Sarsahr. So that's about 7 inches. in length and about like 4.5 inches in girth. That's their average.
Wow.
He said, sounds about right. He's like, I don't know why. Like, they had their own measurements, that they do. So he's like, yeah, all right.
It's not standard in metric. It's Sarsahr.
I know.
That's funny. Okay, so how do you have family here?
Yes.
Tell me who you have.
So I have mother and father. Do you have any siblings? A brother and a sister? Just a brother? So no sister. Okay, so he has a brother. I keep saying and a sister, but then I ask him, do you have a sister? And he says no. So,
were you born here?
He says, yes, I was born here. My parents lived here. My father got stationed here on Earth for his job, and we just stayed here ever since. He's retired now.
Okay.
He says his brother's married and has a wife and 2 children. And his brother's older than him, so he's the youngest. How does your father feel about you being gay? He's fine with it.
They just don't have the same probs. That's so cool. Or do your parents lament at all that you don't? Well, I don't know. Maybe they will have grandchildren from you, but
he said they already have grandchildren. They just want me to be happy. That's all they care about.
Okay.
Is there like a thing where you have to come out of the closet? He's like, what closet? He gets it. He gets the thing, but he's been dying to make that joke.
He finally got his chance.
Yeah. He's saying, no, I didn't have to come out of the closet.
Okay.
There was no coming out. It was just...
Did you always know? Did you have like issues growing up, or?
No.
You kind of mentioned that before, that you just wanted love, but you kind of leaned towards a man a little bit.
Yeah. He says, no, I didn't have any issues. I knew what I wanted and what I was looking for, and that was a mate. Whether or not that was a man or a woman was just not on my mind. It was.
Has Jason ever met your family?
Has he ever met your family? He's met him sometimes. A few times. And they like him.
Yeah.
But they're busy, and he says, and I'm busy, and I can't visit Jason very often, so it's only been a few times.
Ben, do you know if Jason has because I'm going to absorb and she's going to walk in. Is there plans for post-human life with Jason?
He says, I'd hope so. I hope that whole thing's true and it could happen for us too. He's like, if not, I would be more than willing to walk in for him, the other way around, or we can choose to incarnate together at the same time as the same species this time.
That's beautiful.
People never thought about that. He's saying people just never think about that the other way around. Like, reverse it. Why are you guys doing all the work?
We're doing all the walking around here. Well, I guess just because you guys.
He made a joke. But, he's like, I like the exercise.
Keep in shape. You're silly, Ben. I like
so
you.
Wise. So wise. And I'm all exercise the demon.
Okay, I want to know this too. Did Jason's, because I want it for my own stuff. Did Jason's drawing of you, how did he say it? Capture your overall essence? Was it close?
It did. Very close. It was drawn by Jason. Of course he got me.
Aw. I'm really pushing hard for a drawing of Star Fairy. I'm
it
dropping
may not
a big
have been accurate. It said it may not have been accurate physically, but essentially. He's like, is that a word? Essentially. Yes.
It is now. Okay. I have to go look at that picture.
He loves that one. He loves that. He treasures it.
I'm going to go stare at your essence one day.
He says, okay. Don't be scared. No,
I bet you're cute.
It may surprise you.
Uh-oh. Okay, so I'm gonna read this verbatim because it's a long one. This is a question from Jason, and he says, did he take me to a, quote, community it looks like on a ship with lots of beings? He had a dream that he remembered, and he saw the devices and kept thinking they were Harry Potter wands in his dream. Was that a dream?
They kind of look like Harry Potter wands. Mm-hmm. They're thin like that.
They look like the apple pens too, if you've seen those.
Oh no.
Well, I don't know. What am I talking about? I've never seen one. Anyway, that's the way I perceive them to look like, is the apple pens.
Did you ever take him somewhere like it was like a bus station kind of thing? He's like, a bus station? No. Did you ever take him somewhere where there's a large group of different extraterrestrial species? He's yes.
That wasn't a dream, Jason.
There was. He wanted to show him around. He's like, I was filling a role, a position. He's like, I was floating around.
He's floating again.
Yeah.
Wearing his floaty boots.
And he wanted to bring Jason with him on this assignment because he thought it would be special for him. He wanted to show him these different species and show him what he did, what he was doing. He was very proud of the position he was filling.
Aww.
And it was like communications with and attending meetings with different species. It was part of their galactic council that they're on with the like the Pleiadians and Avians and Arcturians, all the other Aryans.
The Aryan nation. So was Jason like wowed and stuff during
He
the
was.
time?
He was just I just showed him around. I walked him around and Jason was just looking at everything, looking at everyone, and that's typical that happens when we bring a human on that ship. They're in awe, they're in wow.
Was that an astral?
No.
Ooh, so what were the other species thinking of the newbie, the new kid on the block?
They don't think much about it. It's just a human.
Another human walking the halls.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Okay, wait.
He likes to play a joke. That was his pet. He walked around with Jason's hands, my pet.
It's pet people. I love it.
Bring your pet to work day.
Okay, so what about the oh, never mind. I'm gonna continue. We can always go back, but we have other questions now. That was all a chunk of Jason's and mine. So here is a question from
Ben saying
another Starduster.
Sorry, Ben was saying that you thought Jason would ask more.
I know. I think he didn't want to be greedy. That's probably it. He did say, and I was going to say this, but I'll go ahead and say it now. He says, tell him I love him and value our time together. Jason loves you.
He says, I value our time together, too. He did kind of like a slight bow kind of thing. I don't know what that was about.
You know what? I'm going to go ahead and talk a little bit about what I did on Silver Linings.
He's saying, I love you, Jason. Like, it's really strong. I wish Jason could feel it. I'm sure he does. But
well, that's what I'm going to talk about next, is that, we talked about how, you and I know already that the Sarsahr are very, for them, sex can either be physical or astral. They're pretty good at that stuff. So it's not, they don't really feel like they're missing out if they don't have that physical sex, because the energetic sex feels really good to them. Mm-hmm. So we talked about that a little bit, and I was asking Jason about how it feels to him, and he says he feels it. He feels it in his core. And I'm going to ask you, Ben, how do you feel when you guys connect energetically?
He says, I feel it all over my body. It's like it's on fire. It's tingling, and it feels good.
It does feel good.
God.
What'd he do? Tell me. Sorry, tell me. Sorry, not sorry.
This is how I get erected. Ugh, I don't want to know these things. I mean, it could be like, I don't want people thinking like I have issues with, gays. It could be Avery saying that, and I'd be like, oh God, it's gross. I don't want to know.
I know. I should be on that side. I'd be like, yeah, tell me more. Show me again.
But he's saying he wants. Oof, that's what I hate about being a medium sometimes. No, it's okay, Ben. He wants Jason to feel it physically when he's doing it energetically.
Yeah, Jason, I want you to set intentions to get a big boner. Then I want you to masturbate.
Oh my God, no. We should do this privately. I don't want to put this on there, okay?
No, that's fine. I'll put it on me. When I connect energetically, I masturbate afterwards, and I have the best fucking orgasm ever because I'm all tapped in and connected. It's cool. It's sex. Do it. Get your toys or your hand, whatever. Don't be shy. This is sex. This is why we're here.
I just don't feel comfortable. I don't want to make people watching this feel uncomfortable. That's all.
Okay, we'll move on, but that's all legit stuff. If you need more sex, you go over to Silver Linings. We're going to keep talking about that with Jason. Okay, so what are the Sarsahr views on polyamory? Do Do you engage in that? How do you feel
It's like
about it?
multiple relationships. No, absolutely not. You're only with
Right.
one person your whole life, and that's it. When they die, you die.
However, you are with a human. So how is your view about the humans engaging in more than one relationship? Because we are. Me and Heather are.
I feel like he's trying to find his words carefully.
Okay.
Because he knows this will affect Jason. He says, for
Right.
now, I'm fine with Jason being with somebody. He said, I know I'll struggle with it when the time comes. And it's coming close, and, you know, and I'll see him go out with men, and it doesn't bother me. I just don't engage. I try not to engage with him during that time because I don't want to see it either. I check on him to make sure he's safe, you know. I worry about him. I don't worry about his heart getting hurt. But he said that he thinks that no one will ever be good enough for Jason. And that he'll get upset if some human hurt his feelings. He'll go after them. He's like, I have to stop myself, but I'll want to, you know.
We're having people feeling uncomfortable in our groups with having, multiple relationships. I had to go through, you've had your guilt stuff, and I had my guilt stuff, but I've kind of gotten over it. And I think that's because Avery's been so supportive, and I've invited Avery to just connect with me when I'm connecting with others. But Avery is a different breed altogether, and he's down for that. So I'm wondering, how other Sarsahr partners deal with that sort of thing. And I know you're all individuals, and you all have different. Well, maybe not. Maybe that's like a general consensus that you're all uncomfortable, and I just kind of got lucky with that.
I wouldn't say uncomfortable. I would just say that it's just something I've learned to accept, that it's bound to happen, and that I'm going to have to be okay with it if I'm going to stay with him. And he said I would take anything just to be with him. So if that's what it takes, then so be it.
That's so sweet. And I got to say that's one of the things too, when I think about that other connection and that, knowing we signed up for this life, I just feel like our love will rise above all of that stuff. It's just so special and deep and true and pure. Do you feel like that too, Ben?
He's smiling, and he says, thank you for saying that. It made me feel better.
Yeah.
He says, I like to think so, and I choose to. I don't think he has anything else to add to that.
Okay. I have no fear of ever breaking up with Avery because I know it's just going to continue on to the next life. It's such a special love. I'm so grateful for it. Okay. Are there any transgender Sarsahr?
Do you know what transgender means? He says yes. Okay. I feel like Jason's talked to him about all this stuff before. Says no, we do not have transgendered Sarsahr. Gender is not a huge deal to us. We only use it as a basis to identify somebody's sex for health reasons. If you go to a doctor and you say, I'm a man, well, with men, there's certain types of illnesses they could get. It
matters, right?
Yeah. That's the only time it matters.
Okay.
We do have gender roles, but it's not as severe as human gender roles are. It's something we choose to and like to be part of, and if you don't want to be part of that gender role, you're not casted out for it. You're not seen as less than, or he said some may think it's weird, like especially with women. Women are very catty, and it's mostly the women that put each other down if a woman chooses to not become a mother, or if one chooses to marry another man after theirs has passed. He's like, I'm talking about Gwyneth. She's facing some adversity, which that breaks my fucking heart. That's gonna make me cry. I'll fuck those bitches up.
She will cut a bitch.
I will cut a bitch. I know I shouldn't have said that, but that's my girl. That's my Gwen. Don't fuck with her. I'll fuck with you right back. Anyway.
Heather is like that. She is fiercely protective, and I'm always like trying to see everybody's point of view. And Heather's like, I'm 100% loyal. I don't care about the other view.
Yeah, I know.
There's value in both kinds of friendships. So
Ben's saying
good
that's
for
the
you.
Sarsahr in me. Absolutely. Like, and another unique thing about the Sarsahr I've never said is that when you wrong them, they're not likely to forgive. And they'll try and fix the relationship and stuff, but if there's a certain point where you just cross the line and you're dead to them, like literally you do not exist, you have died, and it is very dramatic. And I'm like that too. I've only had to do that very few times in my life. Oh yeah, I have been surprised by that. Like, I've had some people, you're dead to me.
See, I'm like the girl with 1,000 chances, and you know, my people aren't dead to me, but I'm done with them. I finally got there.
Well, no, I give 1,000 chances too, but then there just comes a point where you just fuck it.
There really is, and that's kind of where growth is. I guess they got there a little bit sooner than us. Yeah. They don't have to do 1,000 chances.
Right, and dead to me doesn't mean like you're still attached to them, because I don't feel any anger or anything towards them. You mean nothing. You
just sloughed them off.
You're nothing to me.
Okay. Do you guys experience gender dysphoria?
Do you know what that is? Okay. Haha. I looked it up because I wanted to get this, politically correct or whatever. I didn't want to upset anybody. It's when somebody struggles with their gender identity and they don't identify with, or they don't like the gender they were assigned, like physically assigned. And most of the time they're transgendered. Not all the time. He's thinking, he's like, why wouldn't he? It's an odd concept for him.
Yeah, interesting.
He's like, humans are very strange.
True that.
He says that I would say no, we don't go through that because I don't even know what that is.
Okay.
He's like, because our gender is not a huge deal to us. We don't identify so much by it. I think in your society you do, and because you may not identify with the roles assigned to that gender, or you feel that you cannot accept yourself, or you can't accept the fact that you like someone of the same gender. It could be that that's what leads to that. He said, but I'm not a doctor and I'm not human. I don't understand.
Okay. Because there was a part 2 of that question, which was like, how does your society view them? But that's not even an issue.
No, it's not a thing. It doesn't exist. Has it ever existed? He says, no, not that I know of. He's like, I'm not an historian, so I wouldn't know. And if it did happen, it happened so long ago that we don't even talk about it.
So here's another question. Do same-sex couples ever have babies? Do you have a way to grow a family?
We do. We sometimes do, but we don't have babies ourselves.
Right.
The women, it's much more easy. It's much more easier because they just need a donor. For us, it's a much more difficult process because a woman has to be willing to donate her sac. He says they don't call it an egg because the Sarsahr women are different. He says, I want to have children. And I don't care by who means, how it's done, human, a Sarsahr woman.
That's beautiful.
And I know it can happen. We just have to find a participant, like a party willing.
Okay.
But yeah, you can have children. It just, some of them don't, most of them don't. And being gay isn't often in our society. It just happens sometimes. And when it does, most of the time they don't end up having children, and it's not, they feel out of lack or something. It just comes naturally. They don't want any. And usually, he says it just happens this way, and it could be, a higher power set it up that way. That they have a lot of nieces and nephews that they raise as their own.
There you go.
He says, I only have 2 nephews, but we can always, my brother could always add more, but I don't think his wife, I think he calls his brother's wife his sister, because that's what he said, my sister. Oh, that's
probably what you were picking up.
Yeah.
I hear that Star Fairy's a real brat, so maybe you could go hold her sometimes.
So I will.
Thanks.
Thanks for the permission.
I had to
He's
start
talking
thinking.
about just showing up to Avery's door like, hey, I'm here to hold your baby.
Your wife sent me over. That's so funny. Wonder if like Ben like walked in as a girl Sarsahr and they could have babies. Would that be a trippy concept?
We could, but Jason likes men, so I'll stay as a man.
Well, Jason does like men, but maybe he could switch that out. I don't know. Just a thought. Because, I just thought that we can make up our own rules. And that's something you would never, ever say, ever, unless a circumstance like this. Uh-huh. Maybe when you die, you can walk back in as a girl and then do it. It's so weird. Well, talk to Avery and talk to the doctors. I'll grow a baby for you if that's
I know. I volunteered too. And Sam, said it was okay. He would feel honored that I would do that. Yeah.
I would do that too. Actually, as a human, I wanted to be a surrogate mama, but this is when I was younger and I had too much medication and nonsense in my body. But I've always liked that concept of, well, I like being pregnant and I like growing babies. So that would be an honor for me too. So put me on your list.
I would want to pay off my student loan debt,
That was one of my motivations, I swear.
The things you got to do to pay off that debt.
I didn't want to say that, but that's exactly why I needed to pay off my tuition.
But I'm selfish. I like my body. And when you have a baby, that really just changes everything. And
mine's already fucked up. I got the baby damage, so I'm a good candidate.
If I already had a kid, I'd definitely fucking do it. But I didn't. Right. And I want to keep my body the way it is right now.
One of the reasons mine's so fucked up is because I grew babies in there, stretched it out, then had them cut out. So I'm messed up. I don't blame you one bit. Go ahead and use this old cut up body. And I was
thinking, okay, you can donate your eggs then. I'm not doing anything with them. You just take my eggs. An egg for you, an egg for everybody. I'm like the Oprah Winfrey of eggs. Everybody gets an egg. I did that out in space too. I have a lot of hybrid programs I was part of, and I was like, everybody gets an egg.
Boy, there's a bunch of little Heathers running around our galaxy, yeah. I bet.
Ben's pretty shocked at hearing that. Yes, there are lots of Heathers.
Well, we are done with our questions, but Ben, I want to invite you to just share anything, whether it's just a concept I haven't thought of, or just love messages to your man, or anything. You too, Heather.
He could send love messages for hours, days.
Oh,
even.
Gosh, you're a sappy guy, aren't you?
That's what I am for him. Do you write poetry? Like the Sarsahr equivalent of poetry. He does that. He said they wouldn't understand it. It's just a bunch of scribbles and symbols.
Oh. Huh.
And it's not as poetic as your poetry is. Ours is love and hug and love you. Or you put I love you, hug, kiss. And because their language is very, it's not as artistic as ours. Yeah, it's very efficient. They just have a symbol for exit. It's not like
love, hug.
Yeah, so it's not like ours where you put different letters together to make one word. Theirs is just a symbol that means exit. So they have one word that means love. They have one word that means this. It's just not.
Right.
It's just different.
Your poetry is not especially poetic. I get it.
Yeah.
That's cute.
It's very robotic. See, I think of it like that. I write poetry when I feel my strongest love for him. Because I need to write it out. It's too much for me to bear.
Right. Oh, that is so sweet. I get like that too. I got to write out my feels. How sweet.
He says, I'd like to send them to him. And I read it to him. It takes a second. It's usually only 3 lines. So 3 symbols with each poem. And he's like, don't laugh at my poetry.
I'm giggling a little. I'm going to challenge Jason. I don't know if I'm like out of line here, but I'm going to challenge Jason to try to channel that, do some automatic writing, see if we can get those symbols. I got an assignment for you, Jason. He's going to be mad at me.
Okay, so I'm feeling a little braver. Okay, we can talk about how Jason can feel him physically. And this just goes for anybody in general, whether you're with
I got to tell you about something. Yeah.
Whether you're with the spirit or an extraterrestrial, this can be done. I used to not think that you were able to, but he's making a joke saying, I want Jason on all 4s. That was the one thing sexy. That was the only thing I was shy about saying. Because it's dirty. Anyway.
It's delicious.
I'm shy about it. Anyway, he's talking about, he's like, not literally, you don't have to be. He was just making a joke. But he knows Jason would.
Offers. Yeah.
Jason would, for fun.
I would.
But you can feel them physically when they connect with you. You could actually feel an appendage going in.
Mm-hmm.
And he wants to do that with Jason. And he said it'll feel different, and most of it's energetic, or I just play with he called them the portals, the chakras. They have a different name for it.
Fondle my portals.
Fondle my portals. I guess, yeah, chakras are kind of like portals. They're gateways for energy to flow through, so that makes sense.
Right.
But we call them chakras. Same thing. So portals, we'll use his words. So he plays with his portals mostly because you can feel it physically. So it's no difference, but he wants to try the physical part of it. And Jason has to be in a real relaxed state for it, mentally and emotionally and physically. It has to not, for me, my issue is I expect it too much. So I brace for it, and then it kind of like breaks that contact. I'll block myself. So you just need to relax completely and totally and trust.
I am a master at that. I'm a professional.
It won't hurt.
Because of that, Ben knows this, but you don't. And I actually invited Ben. But what I'm going to do, I did that meditation with Eric and Audie a couple weeks ago, and it was good. I got some good feedback on that. I didn't expect any less. But what I'm going to do my next one is to help facilitate these kinds of connections. And it doesn't have to be a romantic relationship, but I really want to help people connect energetically in a way that they can feel it physically. So we're going to set intentions on a particular person, or, I even mentioned that, you can connect with a past pet, whatever it is. I want people to feel that physical connection through energy. So I'm going to do a meditation soon featuring that. Ben, are you in?
Yes. He said that'd be a good idea. He kept saying that. That's a good idea. Sorry, Sam just showed up, and he touched my arm and felt his energy go through me. I'm like, ooh.
You know what? You know how I call him Sammy J?
Huh.
Well, I got that from here because this whole family is the J Noodles. Jerry J Noodle and Julie J Noodle. I call my Josh J Noodle. But that's where Sammy J came from. He got the middle initial from here.
Yeah, you're made up. Hi, Sam. Says hi. How'd the video go? We're still doing it. He's like, oh. No, you're not intruding.
Interrupting the videos.
I know. Do you have anything else to say, Ben? Anything to conclude? He says, I love you, Jason, and I want to play tonight. I want to play every night. Let's get our freak on. Let's get freaky.
Fuck yeah.
See, I'm going to try.
If Jason is in.
Huh?
I'm going to say, if Jason's in my Vesica Pisces, Ben might be too. We sound the same.
Oh,
Let's get freaky. That's just like me.
How old is you? How old are you?
I is a college grad.
No, I just grew up in poverty-stricken areas. So sometimes I just let it slip sometime. Who is you? That's how I talk to the students I work with, because I work with mostly poverty-stricken areas. So they'll be like, "What you doing, miss?" I'm like, "Yo, I just chilling." Like
yeah. No,
and one student would be up, running around. I'm like, "Who do you think you is? Sit down. You doing too much. Get your life."
You got your hood talk. All right, so Ben, how old is you?
How old is you? He says, I is.
I is.
Now that's how that works. You're really good at this. You can pick up on human humor like that. He said I is about 250.
Oh, so you is about Avery's age then.
Yeah. He said I'm a little older than Avery, but it's still young. Yeah.
Yeah, 250 is pretty young. You're right.
It is right. In their standards, he's in his 30s. His mid-30s.
Oh, this was fun. Ben, I had fun talking to you. You're a funny guy. I'm going to go see Jason next month. So come play with us. We're going to go to the bar and get drunk and have a seance.
Okay. I'll be part of that.
Right. Okay. All right.
All right. Well,
what do you think? I think so.
Yeah.
I gotta go to a wedding. Gotta get dressed up and fancy.
Oh, also, I still have my room in my online classes for this summer.
Oh, cool. Okay.
And I shipped out some stuff this month already. But I got my notebooks and I want to show everybody.
Okay.
Let me find them. I know I showed the pendulum already.
Smack her ass.
I'm wearing my jammies.
I spanked your bum. I was spanking you.
Can you see it? It says Hermina's spiritual coaching course.
Oh, kitty.
So everyone
fancy.
Everyone that joins the 8-week course gets a notebook and a pendulum and a tarot deck because we're going to be practicing with that stuff. I also offer classes, the level 3 class, which is learning to remote view and learning how to astral project, and feeling astral, when you're in astral, feeling it much more physically. I teach that by itself. So that's part of the 8-week course, but I also offer it standalone because there's some people last year who took my course and the first 2 levels, they already covered that. So to be fair, I don't want to
need it again.
Yeah. Also, there's level 4, which is teaching trance channeling, and I'm offering that as well. And that's in June. Those classes start in June, so you guys better get to enrolling if you want to join.
I'm going to try to get the free version when we're in Mexico next week.
Okay.
I'm going to hit my girl up for a little freebie.
We're going on a vacay. All right.
We are because, we didn't, I'm going to tell them really fast. Because we didn't spend much time together when we were in Nevada. And I'm not complaining, I promise I'm not, because we just had so many people and so much love, but we didn't get any alone time. So we're going to make up for that. We're going to go back to Vegas. So we might be getting some action.
And what's funny is my parents are going to go to Vegas, and the day they fly back home is the day I fly out to Vegas.
That's so funny. And my dad may or may not show up. I have no idea. This is just for me and you, though. We're going to Mexico and Vegas.
Yeah, it's a little Cancun place.
Cancun. All right. I'm going to go get fancy, and I don't know what you're going to do. You have a good day, though.
I have a show tonight. Josh has a gig. He's playing in a casino again. So.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm doing that.
Go headbang then. Is he doing a cover band tonight or just a bunch of stuff?
Yeah, it's a cover band of Tool and Deftones.
I love Tool. Okay, that's cool.
Tool's hard to learn. He was practicing real hard. So I'm excited for him.
I used to fly around in my swing in the front yard, blasting Tool in my brain for about 1.5 years because that's all I could do was swing and blast music. All right, I'm going to stop talking about myself so we can actually end this video. I love you, Sissy Pants, and I'll see you soon.
I know.
Okay?
Okay.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.